When I'm in grizzly country, the energy of the landscape changes. You can feel it, it's electric. You pay attention to your surroundings more. You pay attention to the areas you're walking, what time of day you're walking, the wind direction. You're very engaged to what you're doing and where you are at all times. Just arrived at my spot to look for grizzlies, and it is pouring rain. Got a few miles to get to the meadow in which we start the climb to the top of the ridges where the bears like to feed. Just above tree line, slowly working my way towards the top of the mountains. I've got this whole basin below me. I've been glassing it, no bears in sight. Not really expecting them to be down here, but it's definitely, if they didn't have those moths up high, this would definitely be great bear habitat. Just got to the top of the mountain where I was gonna start looking for bears, and this fog rolled in and I literally cannot see beyond 50 yards in front of me. Ow. Big hail. Ow. Lightning coming, so trying to get down as fast as I can. Found this old creepy Forest Service cabin. The rainstorm ended right about when I got here, so I've just been chilling, drying off here. Never know what you find out in the mountains. Of course, now it's super sunny after all my clothes got soaked. The first time I came here was 2020 with my girlfriend at the time, and we hiked up this trail and then went a little bit off trail, hiking towards the top of the mountains. And before we got there, we see three large grizzlies. It was actually a sow and two cubs that were almost the same size as her. And they started working their way down from the top of the mountain towards us on a game trail. And I was cocky. I saw where they had been following, and I just assumed they would follow this game trail all the way down. And so in an attempt to get closer to get photos, I went directly towards them to kind of cut them off. And I'm watching down where I expect them to pop out through the trees on this trail. And my girlfriend says, "Oh, they're right there." And I look, and they were actually 50 yards away from us. They had cut around in a way that I wasn't expecting. We began shouting, trying to get their attention, but it was so windy and there were so many trees around, they couldn't see us. They heard us, but the wind was swirling, so they couldn't pinpoint where we were based on our scent. So the bears actually started running directly towards us, and not knowing what else to do, I sent my girlfriend in the tree, and I was at the base of the tree, and these grizzlies ran directly to us, and we're shouting as loud as we can to get their attention, and they're actually spinning around the tree, unable to see us. And after a long time, my girlfriend was nearly in tears. I had so much adrenaline. I was so terrified. Eventually, the sow sees us, and she makes eye contact with me. And in a brief moment, I thought, this is it. I thought she was going to charge me. I thought she was going to maul me. And she just kind of cocks her head and gives me this look like, "You idiot," and then turned and just calmly walked away, and the big cubs followed her. It was one of the most terrifying but also magical wildlife experiences of my life, and I'll never forget that. Yesterday, I got soaking wet, and the trail to get up to where I was so far away. Just looking at the maps, I found this access point farther up the road that can get me there quicker, but it's obviously off-trail bushwhacking, and it's really a horrible scenario when you're walking in grizzly country because the wind is blowing directly in my face and I'm heading into it. So if there's a bear ahead of me, he can't smell me. And the water, the creek next to me is super loud, so it muffles the sound even more. So I'm just being very careful. I'm walking with my bear spray out and ready, and just shouting, making noise as I work my way through the danger zone. I got a couple hundred yards and then I'm free. I'm out in the open, so. Well, guys, looks like my trip's a wrap. Had a nice afternoon in this basin here with all the sheep, and more rain clouds are coming, and it's time for me to go anyways. Got a long drive back home. I was about a quarter of a mile on the ridge before getting over to where I know almost with certainty where the bears congregate and they eat those moths. I was so close, but every time, yesterday and even today, every time I reach close to that point, rain, lightning, hail has been pushing me back, so it just wasn't meant to be. I just love this place. I love being in a place this wild, where you just have, all the original species of animals still living here.